Do youth sports help families?
Youth. That is a hard word to say.
Yeah, it's a hard word.
Especially with your thing. Okay, ready?
So youth sports. So how many sports is too much in a large family?
Oh man, I think that just depends on if they're all into the same thing or not into the same thing.
So when it comes to sports and you're in a large family and you got kids that are into basketball and then another kid is in baseball, where do you start to draw the line of it's becoming too much on the family, whether it's driving to different practices, missing dinner, missing events, going out of town on the weekends? How far do you allow yourself to be stretched thin? And I think that's been our experience, is we've been stretched thin with 5 kids. Not that one of them's not in a sport yet, but we definitely had to manage our schedule, especially this year, because we do church on Wednesday nights. We do church on Sundays. We haven't had any conflicts with Sundays, but Wednesdays we have conflicts. And we did baseball recently, which was almost 2 to 3 hours in the evening. So we started to get into a dynamic of balancing getting dinner ready, eating at the baseball field, which messes with our diet.
Yeah, and it was disgusting. I mean, the food was really good, but it was like deep fried French fries, and the hamburgers were like who knows what kind of beef patties from who knows where. And the thing that I noticed the most was that we stopped eating dinner as a family. And we just kind of ate really quickly before we left, or we ate at the park or the ball field, or we were eating in the car, or we were eating in the parking lot before we went. Or sometimes, I remember a couple of times I ran over to Publix while everybody was at the ball field and picked up some stuff, and that was better food than what the concessions had. But even still, like, we're not sitting at the table anymore, and I started to miss that because I like our time when we eat dinner at the table.
I think for youth sports right now, that the coaching for children is becoming a smaller and smaller pool of individuals who want to build character in the kids.
Right.
And make it worth that sacrifice of missing dinner or moving our schedule around, because you see your child being built by another individual, being coached. And what I have noticed over the last couple of years is that it's everybody gets a trophy. It's okay, you did good. Like, I'm not asking for somebody to yell at my kid and scream at my kid, but I want them to coach my kid. There's been a couple times where I have involuntarily volunteered to coach because of the lack of people.
A lot of times you have involuntarily been volunteered.
And it's difficult. Like, I don't even want to coach because I don't think I'm a good coach. But I don't put up with the crap either. That became an eye-opener, because when I coach other people's kids, it's not my kid. And a lot of them I wanted to yell at.
They're just misbehaved. But I think a lot of that too, though, is that the kids get away from their parents. And since it's not really an organized sport, because most of the sports that we've done have been little league, or when, we were on the military base, we did it through the military. So we don't have experience with the public school system's sports programs.
We're still participating in like the city sports. So maybe that's the aspect.
That might be what we're missing, is that it's not a public school system sport.
It's not well developed.
Right.
Yeah,
well, most of the kids are either doing something through the public school system, or they're doing it through the city.
So when it comes to sports, youth sports, the finances that go into it, I think is out of control.
As far as how much it costs? How
expensive it's getting. I mean, I bought Connor a baseball bat and it was over $100. When you talk about the finances of it, is you pay all this money to put him into a league. And we only have baseball right now to go off of. We did wrestling when they were younger, and it turned out to be good. It's just we moved around and we lost track of it. But
Yeah.
you pay all this money to sign up for a league, and then they're like, well, you gotta volunteer to help or pay another $100.
Yeah, that
And
was
that
weird.
irritated me.
That was the first time I feel like we've ever seen that, though, because none of the other sports or programs that we've done. But that's how co-ops are ran, though, too. You have to volunteer your time as well. But I think that that's a city thing.
Maybe, but by no means. I signed up to volunteer.
And you got lucky because you had to do 2 concessions and one of them got rained out.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at is I'm thinking, okay, I'll volunteer, of course. I went to every practice. I went to every game for the most part. I think I made it to almost every game except one.
You were out of town for one of them or something.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, they need somebody to stand on third base or they need somebody in the dugout. No, they want me to work a concession stands. And I was like, that's...
If you learned anything about Kyle from the Kyle video, that is not his volunteer role.
I would have rather paid the $100.
Yeah. It's interacting with money and people and food.
So when you take math and people and then you put money into it.
You were so nervous that day.
I was stressed and I was sweating through my shirt. You know, when it comes to the finance side of it, it just blows my mind how much money it's taken to participate in sports. And maybe we feel it more because we have so many kids.
Right.
Because when we sign the kids up for something, it costs a lot.
Yeah, well, and if you have one in something and then the other person, if it's within the same season, that same sport is within the same season, it starts to add up quickly.
I just don't understand when it started costing so much, because whenever I was a child and we did Little League, we went and got our stuff. We put our money in for uniforms or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it was almost $250, $300 to sign Connor up for baseball.
Well, but
everybody's like, well, that's a pretty good price. And I'm like, what are we doing?
When I was a kid and I did dance, because I was really big into dance all throughout elementary, middle, and high school, and that was expensive. It was $450 a month, roughly. And then on top of that, you had to get shoes, which those were expensive, and then costumes at the end of the year. And I probably had 6 different costumes. So each costume costing maybe like $100, $80. That's a lot of money.
Well, maybe I'm just ignorant to it. I don't know. I thought it was too much because I still bought the bat, the glove, the shoes. Like,
they did have that thing at the beginning, though, where you could go and pick up donated items. Mm-hmm. That helped out a lot because we didn't have to get shoes. I didn't think we got him a glove either. And then the helmet. He was able to get a helmet. So, I mean, that helped. But yeah, registration fees were expensive.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I went against you there.
No, it's okay. But then you take all that and then it turns into like the next subject of like if you have another child that wants to do a completely opposite sport.
Yeah, now you're doing that all over again.
In a whole different dynamic. Mm-hmm. And then, husband and wife got split up throughout the evenings. You take them here, I take them there.
And we have 5. So how do we, I think that's our biggest struggle is that if 2 kids are in a sport, you take one and I take one if it's the same night. But then if we add another child into the mix, now we can't split up any further.
This might be controversial, but a little let into our life, we started saying no. You're not doing it. If I don't see you have a lot of talent in it and not putting work into it, we're not going. We're not. So we do one sport at a time, and we stay pretty busy with all the other things we do, though. We don't just sit around. Like the kids do their bowling league on Wednesdays. They have all their youth group activities through the church that they do. But we just decided a while back that we're not going to be the family that's chasing sports around all the time. I've met quite a few people that I don't see where they're happy, that are talking about their kid like they're like going to be the next best thing, and you watch them out on the field and they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. So
Well, I think everybody has high hopes for their children.
But at some point, you got to know when your kid's not good.
Well,
And then you got to like understand your investments and maybe be a parent and redirect them to something they might be good at.
so yes, I agree. As a parent, you have to find their skill set and where they are gifted. Hanging on to something that a child thinks that they're gifted in or has just kind of like a like towards it. So I agree with you there, but I don't necessarily agree with just like not doing it. Like I think that they should still practice. Maybe don't sign them up for the team. For example, Connor, he was not that good this year.
He got invited to All-Stars.
Yeah, but the biggest part was that he didn't go out and practice. He didn't go out in the backyard and practice.
Neither did the team.
And we have all the gear for him to go out and practice. And he didn't invest his time into it. But we invested our time into driving him here and there and getting him the supplies and tools that he needed. So I think that is where, as a parent, you have to stop and pump the brakes and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to sign you up for this until you put the time and effort into it.
Which we didn't.
Right.
I see these parents that live vicariously through their children, and that annoys me. Because you can see the child not enjoying the sport. And I'm guilty of this. I did this.
You did this with wrestling.
We got into wrestling. I wrestled all through middle school and mostly into high school. And I wanted my kids to wrestle because wrestling really coached me in life. And it taught me a lot. And I was a punk. And it broke me down. And I'm extremely thankful for that experience. And so I wanted to give that to our kids. And it was bad.
It was really bad.
It was a disaster. The team we were with was good. There was nothing wrong with any of the program. It was as solid as the ones I've been in the past.
Yeah.
And the ones I see today, it was great. But it was not for them. And it just made me get frustrated with them.
Yeah, but the cool thing about that though is like that it's really neat to see how the Lord works with your gifts and your skills, because in your upbringing that was where you were gifted and that's where you needed to be gifted, so that way you could learn the tools that your coach gave you and put you in those positions and in those situations that you needed to be the man that you are today. But the boys that we have, they might not necessarily need to be in that position because they need to get it from something else. And so I think it's cool to see how the Lord works with that. And
the Lord also has a lot of humor because I don't really care for baseball, and our oldest loves baseball.
Oh, tell me about it. I saved all of my dance costumes. You've seen them. Well, I got rid of like half of them. I saved all my dance costumes, hoping that we would have a girl. We finally have a girl, and what did she say? I don't want to do dance.
She wants to play baseball too.
She wants to do baseball. I was crushed.
It's just so
crushed. Do you think that sports still build character today?
It frustrates me when a kid does something wrong, makes an error, or mouths off. That's the big one. Is when those things happen and the coach doesn't correct it on the field, one, the parent should be correcting it at home because it's not the coach's job to parent the child. However, once they step onto a field, a mat, whatever it is, the way I see it is if my son does something outrageous or wrong, coach it. If it's behavioral, chew him out. If he made an error, tell him he made an error. If he messed up, tell him he messed him up. Break him down, build him up. But all I see since we've been doing sports at the youth level is it's all right. And everybody's like, you don't want to be too hard on them. Yeah, I do. I want to be hard on them. The world's hard. Not in an aggressive way, but just break them down, build them up. Say, hey, man, you got to get better at doing that. You missed that or you messed that up. Your team's counting on you.
I have to disagree with you because I feel like Connor definitely developed his character during the baseball season this year. Not in the way that you're describing necessarily, okay? I get what you're saying, but at the same time, when he wanted to pray before the game, that built a tremendous amount of character for him. because it takes courage. It takes humility. It takes like letting go of your pride, you know, because he had to have been embarrassed. He's the smallest kid on the team, and he's like, let's pray, guys. You know, I mean.
Well, it made us eat our pride too, mainly me, because we griped and complained, and just with how the season was going, not because the team was bad, it was just because of the organization and how it was ran. And then the coach comes up to us at the end of the season and he thanked us. Or he said, I've never coached a kid that would be willing to pray for the team. Wanted to make more of a point to spread the gospel to the kids and say more about God. And I'm standing there like, man, I've been complaining all season long about you. I get it. I understand. Should kids miss church for sporting events?
I do not think so.
I think we had to make a couple of decisions this year.
Well, actually, Connor made the decision himself.
Which was cool, yeah.
He chose not to go to his game, and he wanted to go to Wednesday night services. So I say no pretty quickly, that they should definitely go to church. But I also think that there's a fine line between it, where if, like, for example, his team, if they didn't have enough players, and if he missed the game, then they couldn't play. They would have to forfeit. If that was the case, then no, I think you should probably go to his game. Because now you're letting down the entire team. It also, if he was like the only pitcher, or if he was the catcher, or if he was put in a position on the team where the team was relying on him, then I think that's important, because he can do Bible study time on his own with us.
You go to church for the community of it. Yes,
Right.
You go to get fed, but
Yeah,
you should be feeding yourself on your own time.
I agree. But if it's just for a practice, or, you know, something that's kind of like, he can be missed, basically. If the child can be missed, then I think that they should be at church.
When it comes to youth sports, and I think we're going to have it more as the kids get older, does it feel like a full-time job?
When we had our daughter in piano, our son, one of the boys in baseball, yes, it was a lot. And I don't know if you remember, I forgot stuff all the time.
Yeah, you were forgetting. That's why that Skylight, if you're down in the description if you want it, but
It's pretty awesome. It is really nice.
I want the
Anyways,
bigger one. I want the big one.
the massive one. It was only a lot because we had to be in different directions at different times, and there were so many times to remember, and it was always around the high traffic time of day. And that was just not fun. It's not fun sitting in the car. And then the 2-year-old, he's got to sit in the car because he can't
He's got
stay
the
home.
roads memorized.
I know. He knows when we go up the hill and down the hill and where we turn.
Yep.
And
He knows exactly where we're going. You know, a final thought is sibling fairness.
I don't think you'll ever be able to be fair.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to happen. You know, you feel bad, but at the same time, like, they can go kick a ball outside. There's your soccer. You know, you can go throw a baseball. There's your baseball.
Well, I've learned that kids, they'll say they want to do all the things in the world. And we got to be the parent and be like, nah. And then you factor in all the driving around and doing all that. And I'm sure some people would disagree with us and be like, well, you don't have dedication to your child and you should be pushing them and doing this and doing that. We could all say that. Everybody got opinions.
Well, but we do have dedication to the kids. We have dedication to them in so many different areas. I think it's important to realize that every family looks different.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like our family, we have so many kids, and what do you learn from organized sports? Well, you can learn a lot of things. You can learn teamwork. Okay, our kids learn teamwork every single day because we have so many of them. When they have to mow the yard, they have to work together. They have to learn how to interact with each other.
What about competitiveness?
Our boys are so competitive with each other. It's ridiculous. And they all win and lose at different things. And so when we play game nights or something like that, if we get out the board games, you see it firsthand, the competitiveness. And they learn that stuff. They get it at church too when they play their games with their friends and youth. I feel like the aspects that you get from organized sports, you can still pick those up and pick up those traits and those character traits that we were talking about in different ways. We need to invest the time in a skill that they have and in a skill that the Lord has given them.
I agree. If I saw like they were really good
Yeah.
at it.
But
But-
as an adult, you know, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
do your part, and if you want something and you don't put in the hard work, and this is something that organized sports will teach you, is it?
Yeah.
You have to do your part of the team, and if you don't, then your team fails, or something fails, or you fail.
You
or
fail first. Your
Yeah.
team fails because of your failure.
Yep. Let us know what you guys do with your families down in the comments, and let's chat about it. See where you guys think that organized sports can help families, or maybe where they hinder some families.
Or maybe we're just crazy and just are clueless.
Maybe.
I don't know. All
Who
right.
knows? Bye.
Oh, this is not the piece we planned. It's beautiful and bonkers, with tiny tyrants in command who shout their little yonkers. We pray for grace and patience and a minute's sweet release. This crazy, blessed, wonderful, chaotic masterpiece.